I'm here with Julie Ragolia, stylist and fashion consultant. Julie, please tell me and tell our readers how you got your start as a stylist.
I never intended to be a stylist in all reality. I thought I would be a curator or an academic. And I was styling a little bit because I had a roommate who was a fashion photographer or budding fashion photographer. And so I would just do little shoots with him for, some cash. I was a college kid. I wasn't really thinking about anything. I was studying philosophy and art. Never thinking about fashion at all. And part of me wondered if fashion was indeed a proper art form, because I thought about it politically. I thought about what, how women see themselves through the lens of fashion. And, but anyway, I was doing these shoots with my roommate, and he one day said to me that you could never make it in this business. And I said, oh, really? I mean, I'm a street kid from Brooklyn. I grew up in a very poor neighborhood with very, working class parents who, pushed me in a way that was incredible toward education, but also in that kind of tough kid streety manner where it's like, if someone tells you you can't do something, you could do it. So I don't know. I took a chance and sent a resume in my little portfolio to MTV because I liked music. And they hired me straight away because, funnily enough, someone there had seen my very first editorial. So lo and behold, I was hired very shortly thereafter. And then I worked at MTV, and that was where I first started to get a taste of what the culture of fashion was like.
So what are some of the lessons that you've learned during the course of your career?
It's really easy to, in the fashion industry, want things to happen immediately. And it's so incredible to have people around you that remind you all the time that you have to be patient. Whether it's working with an artistic director who is just warm and open with his team and level-headed and everyone works together as a family, to my agent when I'm, talking about something that, say, I want in my career or I think I should have in my career. And she reminds me to just stay quiet and breathe, or take a minute and meditate on what it is that you want rather than think about what you're not doing at this time. I'm incredibly chaotic, like when I cook.
Hello. I'm chaotic in general.
Yeah, when I cook, when at my desk, everything is pure chaos, but if I can keep my brain at all times in a grid system and disciplined, then anything is okay. I mean, people like us, we travel so much. We're constantly on the move, but yet you can stay fresh and focused and curious and not exhausted, because you just want to know more, because your brain is aligned to just, I don't know, the beauty of what things could be, I suppose.
You're one of the most humble people I know. How do you maintain your humility in an industry that is known for breeding creative divas?
Firstly, thank you for calling me humble. That's so sweet. I am eternally like a child, I think. Everything is just wonderment and curiosity. So that, first and foremost, keeps me almost in a way like too young to have an ego about it, even as I age in my industry and grow. That sense of wonderment is, for me, humbling, because there's always more to learn, always more to see, always more to do. But I mean, I don't know, meditation is so important to me. Constantly remembering that I came from one place and now I'm somewhere else. So, it's funny, I was riding back from JFK a couple of weeks ago on one of my plane trips back and forth, and the route that we took was a different route than you usually take to get to the airport because of traffic. And we went past the stop on the highway that was the stop, past where I would get off as a kid, like where I grew up. And, and I grew up in a very an ugly building, a multitude of buildings in an area that things are not the most beautiful. And I had to smile and think about the fact that this used to be a stop that for me was I don't know, was tense or somewhere that I wanted to escape. And now here I am riding past it in a car that's been hired for me to get to the airport. I mean, when I think about those things, it's just, I can't help but stay humble because I'm so lucky to have what I have.
Like many of us, since the unimaginable election of Donald Trump, you have become more politically active. Can you share some examples of your personal resistance?
I don't know. I started to think about the small steps I can take. It's like you want to make grand steps, and I've done those in going to protests or, my Twitter feed has become nothing but politics at this point. Whether, 5 people or 500 people potentially are listening, maybe you're helping spread something or to change some kind of mindset where need be, or just bringing people together in a time where people are very separate in America right now. But one of the key things that I started to do was to eliminate meat from my diet, because if you've got people in office who are denying climate change, then, if I can do a small part by reducing the amount of methane gas that is produced by cows and the breeding of them for the purpose of food consumption in a greater way than we as humans even need to consume. Eliminating that from my diet is a small protest. It's a small statement against Trump. It's a small statement against anyone who doesn't believe that climate change is real, because it is. We are ruining our Earth with the decisions that we as a human race are making.
What are your thoughts about the women-led anti-harassment and misconduct movements like Me Too and Time's Up?
I think it's incredible the way women are coming together to speak about their experiences and to come together to help one another to hopefully change for the future. That, women, we have a voice, we have fairness, whether it be from payments at work, that there is no discrepancy between what a man makes and a woman makes for the same job. And also just, it's been so interesting the way social and digital have informed so much of this movement. Our social media, without it, we might not be able to create the change that we as women are now creating. And that's incredible to me as a woman, as a human, to see that we can use our voice and speak to one another and celebrate and support within our industry, from a small voice creating a large channel of movement to then create a discipline that our industry has to move according to. And in terms of Hollywood speaking out, and the Time's Up movement, small statements like a group of women choosing to wear a particular color to show that they support one another is a special thing. It's something we have to be careful in how it's executed because of the political climate in which America sits at the moment, that it doesn't get shoved off as just a division. Eventually there will have to be a way for the communication to not be us versus them. Mm-hmm. And that's the difficult side of what's happening now with movements like Me Too and Time's Up. How we thoroughly execute this to become a real voice for change. But at least women feel now like they can speak about what their experiences have been in situations that they haven't felt like they've had a voice.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that you must be exhausted from last night to come and cook with us and to share this lovely conversation. And let's try this.
Yay!
That's perfect. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.